Hello people, welcome back to the podcast. Now, me and James, I always love putting these podcasts out because there's zero research involved, zero prep, just me and James chatting a load of absolute waffle. Now, before we get into this podcast, I would say there is an Easter egg in here somewhere, right? Something that I was going to take out, but I'm going to leave in, and I'm not going to tell you what it is. But it was too funny. The whole interaction about the thing I was going to cut out was too funny, so I've left it in for my viewers and listeners' pleasure because it was hilarious, right? So I'm sure you'll figure it out when it happens. It's not too far in. Now, also, big shout out to everyone who's been rating the podcast, especially on Spotify. This is probably where I'm going to try grow the podcast most. Up to 155 ratings. That is absolutely splendid stuff. That is what's going to help me grow the podcast the most. On YouTube, it's pretty much just like, it just dies on its arse, but I've got plenty of listeners across the audio platforms. So if you can continue to do that, if you're new around here, the podcast comes out on at 7 o'clock on Tuesdays. Every Tuesday. You'll never miss an episode if you follow the podcast on Spotify and rate it. And if you're on Apple, a wee written review would be great. But I don't really care about Apple. It's more about the Spotify. Also, I'm trying to because I have got quite a lot of listeners, but I don't really know who you all are. And it's small enough that I can get to know who people are. We can have some interactions and all that. So if you are a listener of the podcast, every week I'm going to start asking an actual specific question about whatever the topic is in the Spotify. There's a question feature, right? So I know a lot of you listen to it in the car, but some of you might be on a bus or whatever, or you might be out a walk. So I will be trying to respond to them, and I might even make like Q&A wee bits towards the end and do some listener questions, because I actually want to talk to the people that listen to the podcast. Anyone who ever inquires with coaching with me, if they mention they listen to the podcast, I know they're going to come on straight away, because I know people who listen to the podcast are really invested. So the question in today's question box, I'm just going to make up off the top of my head right now, is going to be, how are you surviving the dark nights? What are you doing? What are you implementing? What strategies? What are you focusing on through the winter? Because that's what today's topic is about. Now, there's plenty of absolute nonsense before we get into that, but sure, it's me and James, and James is ADHD'd out his nut, and I'm probably on the spectrum there somewhere pretty high up probably, but not enough to go get tested for grand. Put it that way. Anyway. Yeah, keep rating the show, keep following on Spotify, share it with your pals, doing whatever to help me grow it, because that's what it's all about. It's all about inflating my ego. Enjoy the show.
Did you get a fuckload of different people saying things?
But I'm not looking at that.
No?
Nah.
What
Can't really be bothered. It's just people being sad. Do you want to see something that came up in my Facebook memories the other day? You can zoom in if you want. Just try to get a picture of what you're looking at.
Oh, nice, mate. Nice. What is that? T-shirt all about?
I don't know.
Mate,
that was one of the most...
I was looking at the wee guy. I thought that was going to be you.
No.
Why is he in a Hibs one?
I'm in the middle of the refs.
I know, I see that. I like the.
Have you ever seen anything like that? There's just a random guy in between the football players.
Is that how you used to be, aye?
No, I'd never. That was one job that I'd done that I came away from it going, "What the fuck have I actually just done?" So they gave me a ball, right?
What age were you there?
Like 19.
You're 19 there?
19 or 20, aye.
You look younger now, mate.
I was fat. I got given. I'll put a picture on the screen if anyone's watching this. So I was to perform before the game, but they made me just get a ball and do keepy-ups before the players walked out on the pitch. And you know how they go to shake? This was the first game of the season. Rangers were in the championship, and so were Hibs. And they were like, right, just you get the ball and you do some keepy-ups and some tricks before the players come out. And I was like, what? And because usually you do it like well before the game, like just to
Aye, just a bit of fun for the
warm
crowd
up
that's
the
there.
crowd, and they were like, no, like you lead the teams out, and I was like, why? Why the fuck? And then they just gave me a ball. I didn't do any tricks because they gave me like a £3 flyaway, and I would have just fucked it up if I tried it.
What's a £3 flyaway?
Just like a shit ball.
Oh, right.
Like a really bad ball.
Aye.
I couldn't even, like, I was dead light and stuff, so I was like, if I try it with this, I'll probably fuck it up.
Aye, you'll make a lot of fanny.
Aye, in front of like 30,000 people or like 20,000 people and 2 football teams behind me.
Can I ask, how much does somebody get paid for something like this?
300 quid I got for that.
It's alright, isn't it?
Well, you should get paid. Well, it would 300 quid for me to just
But
stand
it's
and like
pure
high five.
Is it nerve-wracking though?
Well, why am I doing that? Why am I leading the teams out?
I want an 300 quid.
And then I just turned round, the teams lined up, they all shook my hand. They all had to shake my hand, and those two teams
Gavin. Thanks,
had
Gavin.
no idea who I was or why that had just happened. So I was shaking like Lee McCullough's hand, and like every single one of them, they were just looking at me going, why am I shaking this guy's hand?
And you're like, fuck the Rangers, fuck the Rangers, fuck the Rangers. Hope you get
pumped.
Good game. More Hibs.
You're shite. But I just had to lead the teams out and then shake everybody's hand and then just fuck off and watch the game. And it was one of the I'd never done.
Mate, that would give you big boys.
I've never seen it. What?
That would give you big boys.
What do you mean?
That would give you a wee bit of confidence, wouldn't it?
No, it would give me zero confidence. It would give me confidence if I went out and done a 5-minute show and then went. But my job was not to shake football players' hands, or it wasn't. So one of the weirdest things I've ever done my whole entire
You're just like a fiver for that, a fiver for that.
My dad watched the game and he was like,
"What are you doing?
Why the fuck were you?" Because you didn't see me walking the teams.
He's like, scumbag.
You didn't see me walking the teams out. You just seen them shaking each other's hand and then shaking my hand.
This cunt must be big. He must be big time.
That was horrendous. I've done a few jobs that were just because that. Do you know what that is? That's someone who's got a degree in marketing from uni and has been given a responsibility. And we'll get the weird 19-year-old freestyle boy to lead the teams out.
Can I ask why were you looking at this picture?
Because it was on my Facebook memories.
Oh, right. It's cool. Because I always walk in, I hear you watching football. And I was like, what's he watching football now? Like Slovenia, fucking second league and all that.
No,
basically.
No, I just like football, mate.
I know that.
It's just my... I'm always watching highlights.
I know.
I'm mostly watching Roy Keane talking about football rather than...
Do you like Roy Keane?
I love Roy Keane.
I do like Roy Keane. I'm not really big into football, but if I ever watch punditry, I do like a bit of Roy Keane. He's just the way he goes about.
I love him. Do you want to hear it? Because it just started making me think about all the weird stuff that I've done doing freestyle. Like I done some of the weirdest... I went to a 6-year-old's birthday party in Mumbai in India.
In Mumbai?
I was there for 30 hours.
30 hours?
And I didn't get to see any of the city. I just seen a massive hotel. So I got a 10-hour flight there. And then a 10-hour flight the day after that.
Did a wee Indian message you?
No. There was a mate. He was either 6 or 7. He had a full 3 banquet halls underneath this fancy hotel. The hotel had like designer shops in it and a club. And then it had 3 banquet halls down the bottom, right? He had one full room that was like a football, like fantasy room. So they'd wood all round the banquet hall that was just like paintings of like his favourite football players that artists had made. Then there was a stage for us to do like a performance, but we were one of like 10 people like doing performances. There was like
so just performance after performance after performance,
all sorts. And then there was a room with just like he had a Formula 1 virtual game,
right? Then
like a golfing virtual game. Then the other hall was just like a full buffet of just like 100 people making food, like 100 different like stalls chefs and all that. For a 6-year-old. And then when we done our show, there was 4 of us, right? We had to, bear in mind, they made us rehearse for like 5 hours before it and come up with like a show. They wanted the show to be 20 minutes. You can't do a freestyle show for longer than 5 minutes because you do every trick you have and also you're absolutely gobbled.
Fuck that.
But there's 4 of you, so you could do 20 minutes, but you basically just do the same shit over and over again. And he came in, he had 2 girls draped around him. He was 6. He looked like Dr. Dre. He looked like an Indian 6-year-old Dr. Dre.
What a lucky bastard.
2 girls round him that were probably 11.
Aye, so he likes older ladies, innit?
And he just rocked up. Like, I seen him when I had like the ball on my head, and then I done another trick. He rocked up, watched us for about 10 seconds, and just fucked off.
Aye.
And I was like, I just got flown for 10 hours to Mumbai to stay in a hotel for that wee guy to look at me for 10 seconds.
But it sounds like, did you get to party with him after it?
Well, we got to eat a curry.
Fair. Fair. A curry in India must be actually really good though.
It was class.
I was going to say, like, that their food is shit hot when it's actually
My
there.
dad's korma's better, but...
Is it?
Aye.
Few Parks Grand's better than actual Mumbai?
Aye.
That's when you know you're fucked. That's when you know you're fucked. That's an experience.
That was.
I've not done anything like that. Well, obviously.
Done hundreds of things like that.
Have you?
Just really random
Random
stuff.
shite?
Aye.
Did they pay for your flight?
Aye, I got like 1,500 quid for that, and my flight's paid for.
Oh, fuck, Matt. That wee guy.
Yeah, you're
that
not
wee
going to
guy's
India
dad.
for 300 quid.
Who? Who is this wee guy's dad?
They owned like the biggest building company in India.
Right. Makes sense.
I'd never realised how rich a lot of Indians are. So when you got there,
Aye, but like, there's a billion people, right?
But the difference between the poor and the...
It's crazy.
When you think of India, you think of it as a poor country, so I just assumed like most of it well poor, but apparently a lot of it's actually very rich.
Right.
But the rich are fucking disgustingly rich.
Aye.
They were filthy rich.
No communism.
And I don't mean, but the disparity in wealth was there in front of your eyes.
Aye.
It was actually really horrible.
Aye.
Like, so in that hotel, we were watching the people coming out from the club, and like there was workers in there, and they'll be on like £1 an hour or £2 an hour, and they were like hoovering like outside the club and all that, and I just seen like 5 pure rich Indians like mocking him, taking his hoover off him, taking pictures of each other with a hoover and all that.
Did they?
Aye, and it was just so grim, like so grim, because I'm not saying this as a thing about all Indians, but their culture there is definitely like a lot of the rich people seem to properly look down on the poorer people. Obviously that happens everywhere, but it seemed to be extreme when I was over there.
Because of the extremity between like the rich and the poor, though.
Yeah.
Like the poor are really poor and the
poor
rich are really
actually
rich.
in slums, like
Aye.
But mad,
that's crazy.
Absolutely mental. But anyway, the Dark Knights, how are you finding them?
Oh, fucking! As I said to you the other day, Dark Knights are fine. I love the Dark Knights, mate. Love them.
Dale said you're struggling.
No, I'm struggling in the morning.
It's the dark mornings.
The dark mornings. But got up today 7:30. I'm going to start to get up a wee bit earlier. My goal is quarter to 7. I ain't any earlier for me. It's too early at this time of year. But that's a good time for me.
To get up when it's light?
No, just to get up in the morning.
Why?
Because I just like getting up at that time in the morning.
What's it got to do with it being dark?
Oh, it's because it's cold, mate. It's the cold.
Right.
See, when I get up, I've got the blanket. Right, so what I do, right? So I don't know, what kind of sleep are you? Like, how do you get into bed? Tell me.
Sporadic. Absolutely mental.
Just random?
No, but I'll be all over I spread myself as wide as I possibly can sometimes.
Right.
Then I'll be in all different positions. I'm a nightmare to sleep next to.
So, does your podcast know about your relationship?
Nah.
No?
Nah, look at that.
No, your dates and that, right? You got, right. Doesn't matter. Right. So, anyway, Gavin,
I'm not ready to disclose that information.
No, that's fine. I wasn't sure. But basically, right.
That was so funny. Wait, your podcast not about like the date?
Basically, right, when you get a woman, right?
No, don't need to pretend that change whatever you're gonna say, don't make it out as if I'm still single as well.
Right. So if you ever share a bed with somebody, right? See, like a normal double bed, right? I've got this problem, right? A normal double bed is not big enough for me and another person.
I would agree.
Right, it's like I need a big. I don't even know the sizes, right? But I'm like you. I like to lie. Like obviously, when I'm lying myself, I'm like fucking sprawled like that, and then I'll wake up in the morning and I'm sprawled like that, or I might even be turned all the way about.
I might even go top to tails.
Aye.
I do that all the time. I just like go reverse.
You're like, where's the comfiest position? Down there. And then basically, I go in with my socks on, right? let my feet heat up.
I do this as well.
Right?
We should sleep together.
we should. We need to really
We'll
big bed.
understand each other.
Aye. Gavin, just move it. Oh, cool. I will move it for you.
Just get that leg over.
But I've got a blanket.
Spread yourself, Gavin.
The thing is, you could go top to
All
tail
over my
and you can
face.
put your hands out there and I can put my hands out there. Do you know what I mean? That's actually perfect. Because we're not going to sleep with each other. So we could go top to tail.
Are we not? I thought that was the whole point in this podcast.
Put the hands in there. Right, go. But anyway, so I've got a blanket for my feet, right? Just for my feet. Like I do use it up top, but then I just spread it down at my feet. So I take my socks off, put a blanket on, and
What do you do?
I take my socks off and go, right? So I used to get a row, right, off my stepmom and dad because there's always socks at the bottom of my bed. And like, how do you get socks at the bottom of your bed? I'm like, because I take my socks off in the bed. And they're like, don't take your socks off in the bed. But I'm like, that's the way I
Did
sleep.
they tell you your feet wouldn't grow if you kept your socks on?
No, they didn't try and use any psychological tricks on me.
My dad used to tell me my feet wouldn't grow.
And you're like, my feet are massive
And
anyway.
I would be like, well, if my feet don't grow, my willy won't grow, so I'll need to take them off.
Thank fuck they didn't tell me that, man. Aye, but like, I would just kick them and I'd forget all about them. Because see, when I'm taking the socks off, I'm close to sleeping. Do you get me?
You're feeling,
It's like a semi-subconscious thing.
right.
And then I'll put the blanket on my feet and I'll go, oh, and then I'll fall asleep. But I'll still move a bit like a maniac, but I'll always wake up with the blanket on my feet.
See, my problem with sleeping next to people, right? When, because the cover isn't big enough. So, like, I'm borderline, like, I think I would need a separate cover.
What height are you again?
5'11", but the thing is,
You're not 5'11", are you?
What height Jenko is?
I thought you were like 6'6".
No, 5'11", but you can tell people I'm 6'1". And so the cover, right? I need to be like wrapped up. Like it needs to be like tight.
Oh, same.
That a wee cocoon.
Aye.
See, when you're sleeping next to someone, you can't do that unless it's really long. Because
Aye.
then there's the bit that's in the middle. You know what I mean?
Aye.
Where it's just like straight.
Aye.
And I'm like, I need that wrapped round me.
Me, but they
Otherwise
need that
I'm
wrapped
not-
around name.
And I'm like, otherwise I'm not safe.
Aye.
Like, I need to be wrapped like a
You alright?
cocoon.
you need to be safe.
Aye.
But I'm the same.
From the what's underneath the bed, obviously.
I'm mad mattress.
If there's a space, then the people from underneath the bed will come up and they'll get in this space.
Is that what you think?
Aye.
Is that what you thought you were a wee guy?
Aye, that and my willy needs to grow, so I'd take my socks off.
Aye, so you need to protect your willy at all times. So that's the problem that I have. I'll wake up and I'm really cosy at this time of year. And to get up, mate.
Oh, we back to this.
We're still here. We never left. But you're like, what's happening? I'm like, so you wake up in the morning and you're like, fuck, it's freezing, but my feet are really warm.
It's not bothering me this year, the whole winter thing. Usually I have to move to the other side of the world.
That's because you're happier, mate.
Do you think?
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Usually, right, you've got like a wee bit of sadness and then the sad on top of it. That's no good.
The sad, but it usually hits me about September. It actually hits me as soon as it starts getting darker at night.
Right.
So, like, see, when I notice it's getting darker at like 7:30, I start freaking out already. That's partly why, like, Melbourne was going into winter in April, and I remember my first winter in Melbourne, like, back in, like, 2019, and I hated it. Like, it was, like, 85% as bad as here, just not...
Cold.
Like, well, it's cold. It's just, like... It maybe only gets down to like 7 or 8 degrees, right? But it's same level of darkness and wet and windy all the time.
Right.
Like see when it's like obviously snowing, shit's freezing and it's cold as fuck. But see when it's like pissing down and really windy, it's equally as shit.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? You can't do it.
Yeah.
Like when it's windy and wet, like really windy and wet, what are you doing?
Aye.
Like compared to
You're
snow,
not going to walk.
it's the same. Like you can't go out and just do stuff.
Aye.
So it's equally as shit. And that's why I was like, when I went back, I was like, I'm definitely not doing a winter. And then like, I was going to go home anyway, but then I travelled all the way up to Darwin, and Darwin is like Bali weather, and it's tropical, horrible, too warm.
Is it?
It was like 35 degrees, but like, you're
Humid as fuck.
Yeah, you're like literally just dripping in sweat all day.
Aye,
And
no sun, no wind or anything.
yeah, whereas Melbourne's like chill weather. Even when it's 30 degrees, it's not like dry. It's just
I
like,
get that.
it's just nice. But it also can just be like 18 degrees and raining the next day, but that didn't bother me.
No, that wouldn't bother me either, because You enjoy the sun when it's there, and then you do other things when it's not.
Summer in Melbourne is just like very up and down. Like one day, like you'll get 2 days that are 40 degrees, which are obviously disgusting. But every time it's 40 degrees, the next day it'll be 18.
Aye, because
It's just mad.
You can't stay up there full time.
So I didn't want to do winter over there, but I'm doing it here. This is my second UK winter in about 8 years.
So how are you finding it?
I'm absolutely fine. But I think I'm going to set some proper...
Mate, I don't think winter's that bad.
I'll tell you, right, I fucking hate Christmas.
I hate... I don't... Right, whoa, I'm going to take that back.
No, I don't...
I'm taking it back, because I don't hate Christmas. It's not my favourite time of the year. People be like, what?
I hate it.
Why is that?
So it's not necessarily Christmas Day, however, that is quite bad. Now, I had a few traumatic experiences with
Same.
with my Christmases where my mum bought me a Barry Ferguson book. Do you know about that one?
Yeah.
Signed by him. Signed by the Rangers captain, who probably the person I hated most in the world. I got out my Henrik Larsson covers, looked at my Henrik Larsson posters all over my wall, and opened my first present. I signed Barry Ferguson book, signed, but I know this man, this disgusting man that I hated so much, had touched something I had touched, and my dad had to come up and get me because I went missing, and I just took 3 balls down the park and just kicked footballs, and like nobody knew where I was, and then my dad came up.
Did that actually hurt you that much?
Because of like, see, if you're like 10, you're just like, how does my mum not understand
that I'm a die-hard Celtic supporter
when I wear Celtic tops every single day?
Yeah.
And I literally live and breathe Celtic, like that's all I talk about. And you get me.
Do you?
Well, I don't anymore. But when I was 10, like, fucking hell.
This is going to surprise you, by the way. I used to be a big Celtic fan as well.
I can actually see that.
Can you?
Aye.
Right, so I
can see you in the Green Brigade.
Mate, fucking love the Green Brigade. Anyway, I actually used to love Celtic as well, and I went to my cousins, and it was like, it was like my step-gran. I don't even know what you call it, right?
Step-gran?
Aye, fucking knows. Someday
wait, sorry, who's this?
Who?
Just some random woman. This is your step-gran.
I don't actually know who, but somebody's gran that's close to me, right? It's not my gran though, right? And
I don't think you can move on so easily from this.
Because I'm not 100% sure. It's
It's a random old woman that lives in Bell's Hill.
It's right, so it's my dad's brother's wife's mum.
Too many things.
I know exactly. So this is my step-gran then. We'll go with step-gran.
It's your step-gran.
Bang! So I sat down, same as you. She's like, I've got you a present. I'm like, I didn't expect a present off you. I was maybe 12 at this time as well. Open it, right? A Rangers mug. A Rangers book. A Rangers pen.
Dirty orange bastard.
I was like, I support Celtic. And she's like, I was like, it's alright, there you go, have it back.
But my dad came up, but she had to phone my dad. She was like, I don't know where he is, and my dad just was like, I'll know where he is. And I was down there
playing football
by myself.
Fucking hell, man.
Crying.
Were you?
But it's not even things like that. Even when I got older, right, so see when I got to like 18, I just don't like not doing stuff.
Aye. See, I'm the same Christmas Day.
I don't get anything out sitting about watching films, and the people might think that I'm this person that can't sit still. I absolutely can't. I can sit and watch like YouTube before I go to bed. I've always hated films. I don't get it. I don't care.
I'm not a big film man.
Don't give a fuck. People are like, have you not seen this film? Like, I honestly don't.
Definitely
care.
Not.
Aye, like that and sandwiches, I don't care.
My sandwiches?
Because people always rave about sandwiches, and like me and my best mate,
I get slagged for slagging sandwiches.
It's because they put mayonnaise in everything, and I'm not a mayonnaise man, so it ruins every sandwich for me.
I said on a podcast episode and I got absolutely fried for it.
That's what I mean.
Sandwiches are the worst on the planet.
Controversial opinion I have. Sandwiches are shite.
They're shite?
Films are shite. But the whole, what I used to do freestyle even when I was like 18, I used to train. So I used to train it more than what I would in the gym. I would do it every day, and I wouldn't be able to do it because I'd know where to go. I used to train in the Hilton and Strathclyde. Like I would use the studio to do that in. That would be shut. And I would it's more the period, especially the period from Christmas Day to New Year. I just feel like, what, it's 6 days.
Sheer depression.
And everything's shut.
Oh.
Nothing's happening. And like, everyone's like, oh, you go out. And like, I'm like, bye, going out in Glasgow during that time and just getting mangled isn't that fun.
No.
It's not that fun.
No.
So I'm just then hungover through those days
Times,
as well.
aye.
And I'm just like, I don't get it, mate. There's nothing on. It's shite. And like, my family's fucking weird, so
Same.
family time is not a good time for me. It's
Aye.
spending time
People
with
laugh, it's a great time to spend with your family. Oh, fantastic. That's actually
spending time
fucking
with
love it.
people who are mentally insane.
Yeah.
It's all around not a comfortable time for myself, you know.
Get it out, mate. Get it out. It's alright.
Can I tell you about the time my mum, what the present my mum got me when I was at 21?
No.
Oh, I've told this on a podcast though, I think, before, but it's been ages ago. Anyway, she bought me, so bear in mind, my dad doesn't get me a present, right? My dad doesn't even put a tree up.
What?
He'll give me, like, when I was younger, he used to give me 500 quid. Now he'll just like, he'll just like, if I have to get, say if
Is your dad single?
I'm the most single man
It sounds like
in the
it.
universe.
Single as me, man.
No, mate, I don't even think he said. Oh, I can't say stuff.
Whoa, relax, man. You're out in your dad here. Oh my god. What's your dad's name? What's it? Whoa, sorry, whoever Gavin's dad is. Whoa. Oh.
Right, I won't say
Hook up
that.
time, eh?
Oh, no, maybe. He did come back one time with... I had to say this. He did come back one time. So he went to tea in the park when I was genuinely like 15, and I went to tea in the park. I think that he used to go all the time, and I went the year after, right? But the year before I went, he put up his tent in the back garden. This is completely out on him, but fuck it. He put up his tent in the back garden, and he was just showing me the tent that day. He was like, that's it. I was just making sure I can get up so I can go to tea in the park. And I'm like, you're 44. You shouldn't be putting up a tent in the scheme back garden that we have. It looks very weird. Anyway, went to bed that night. My dad went out on the randan.
Right.
And I heard them come back in. And then I heard them open the back door. And my room looks onto the back garden. And I just see my father and a random woman climbing into the tent.
What the fuck?
My back garden.
What?
Yeah. Because my room's right next to his. So if he's brought a random woman back,
You'd hear it.
I'd hear absolutely everything. I can also hear the tent. So my dad's went in this tent for tea in the park with a random woman, and I remember coming down. I came down the next day, and she was sitting on the couch, and she was trying to introduce herself to me and all this. I'm like 13 or 14, mate. 14 probably, because I think we went to tea in the park when we were 15, and like I can just see my dad was like head in his hands, just standing there. And then he's like, you phoned the taxi yet? And she got in the taxi, and then about an hour later we still had a house phone, she rang, like the house phone just went off, and I went to answer it, oblivious to everything that's going on. I didn't even think I knew my dad was sleeping with her in that tent. I was so I was young. I was a virgin. I didn't know what was going on. So I went to answer, and I just heard my dad from upstairs in his bed going, "Don't you fucking answer that phone!" And he just horrendous. But I remember bringing that back up to him, and he was so embarrassed.
No wonder.
That's your own fault. It's mental, and
right?
traumatizing stories are from my mum.
You're in a pub, right? You're like, you want to come back to my tent? And she's like, you're like, oh, well, I didn't think that would work.
I set up for tea in the park.
Up at the back in View Park.
Horrendous. Anyway, what the fuck were we talking about? Well, how did we go on to that?
Your Christmas present. You don't get any presents.
So my dad doesn't really get me presents. He'll see if something's wrong with my car before December, he'll pay it for £100 and he'll go, that's your Christmas. I like, cheers.
What a romantic man.
So my mum, like, genuinely the only Christmas present. I also, like, my auntie will get me Easter eggs. Like, she got me them all the time, but she lived next to my dad, and I was always live with my mum. So I would get free Easter eggs, all from my dad's side, none from my mum's side, because they're all crippling fucking freaks. My dad's side would get me like free Easter eggs. I would come down on the Saturday, and my dad would be like, "You've got free Easter eggs." Well, you had free Easter eggs. I've ate them all.
My sister used to eat me Easter eggs. I used to cry.
I'd be like, "Don't you should just not like? I should just. I'd be.
Don't tell me.
I'd have been fine if I thought I had none." The fact that I had free and didn't get to eat any of them,
I'd come home and my Easter eggs were gone,
and I was still fat.
That's probably because that traumatised you. That traumatised me. I was like, "Where are my Easter eggs?" And then I just would see them, the wrappers, outside my sister's room.
But anyway, one Christmas, mum like was like, "I've sent you a parcel," and I was like, "Mum, she honestly the worst Christmas, the worst present giver in history." Like, in history. One time when I first lost weight when I was about 17, and I was pretty skinny. I got down to like 11.5 stone. For my birthday, she bought me 2 extra large tops. One was bright green, one was bright purple. Just extra large, like regular fit, bright green and bright purple tops.
Lovely.
A size 38 waisted jeans. 38. Even when I was my biggest, 30, 32. When I was at my biggest, I don't think I would have fit into these. 38. And she was like, "Oh, you can wear that to your party tonight." And I was like, "Well, what one will I go for?"
Definitely the green one.
And but so she's notoriously horrendous at it. And then she got me. So she sent me a parcel, and then mate, this parcel came like the 1st of December. And she was like, "You're gonna like it so much," and it was well heavy, like so heavy. And then brought it in. My dad was like, "What the fuck is that?" And she tapped, like, she'd be like, do not open this under any circumstances before the 25th. Like, she was so fried about stuff like that. Like, if I said, "I'll just open it now because Christmas is a made up day that humans have made up,"
Stabby.
yeah, and she would go mental, and I would be like kidding on, and she would go absolutely mental. But then, so she was like, "Don't open it." So we would always go to the Hamilton Palace on Christmas Eve.
Right.
Like, always, that was a tradition, and just get blackout,
Aye.
steaming, with everyone from school. So I went there the night before. This is maybe, I'm like 20, 21. Came back, then in the morning, woke up, and she's like, there's like 4 texts. Have you opened it? Have you opened it? And I was like,
Fucking open it.
This is the only present I have, but the only one. This is in a cardboard box. So I open it. I open the first box. There's a second box.
I hate shit like that.
I open the second box. There's a third box. Then we get to the 4th one. Open the 4th one. Loads of paper. I'm sitting next to my dad on the couch, and he's watching, like, eager to see.
Does he know what it is?
Nope, he has no idea. Put my hand in the box. I can feel a very hard object. I bring it out, and it's a crystal healing rock.
Oh my god!
About this size.
Is your mum Mama? No, I've been gay things like that, and I'm what the fuck is this?
It wasn't even a lamp. You couldn't even light it up.
I know.
This size, mate. My dad fucking buckled, fell off the couch laughing. He took it off me, he put it on the kitchen mantelpiece, and just started going hooga booga booga booga.
No, but like, see, the mad thing is, right? She would have thought that was going to change your life.
She thought she was healing me.
Aye.
I've done nothing for the hangover, I'll tell you that.
But she thought she was saving your life, giving you that. That's what they kind of they think that is. They think that you put that in your room, it takes the demons away. Did it take my demons away? Gave me my demons away. Do you know I got for one of my birthdays something similar, right? She's like, this is a really good present. I'm like, oh, class. Like, it was like just that, something like that. I opened it, right? Like, no, I didn't know what it was, but she was really excited about it. I'm like, mate, good. Similar to you. No, my mum wasn't like, don't open it then, don't open it then. She's more like, open it right now. And I was like, right, cool, so open it. It's a water bottle with a crystal inside it. Right? And I was like, it's just like you fill it up and the crystals save the water. And I'm like,
saves the water?
Yeah. And I was like, okay, dokey. And I never used it ever. And I was like, I don't need my water saved, but thank you very much. But like people like that love that shit. That gets in my hard on.
That's why it's my biggest red flag.
It's my biggest. See, I'll tell this, right? This is, I don't know why I've ever done this, right? But basically, I don't know if you've ever heard this. This is going well off topic here. Well off topic.
Oh,
but
it's not the Dark Nights.
When it was a dark night one year when I used to go with my ex-girlfriend, right? My first ever girlfriend, right? She was like, what day and time were you born?
Oh,
And I was like,
I get shivers with that. Yeah.
So I was like, I'll tell her. I'll find it. So I asked my mum, what time was I born? So I find it. And I give her the details. And she goes away and does her thing. And she's like, wow, we are this compatible. And this, like there's so many things. And she sent me it. And I was like, wow, that's so cool. And now, mate, that is not cool.
What was it? Like, how compatible were you?
Oh, very compatible on that scale. No, it's just a made up scale, mate. It's just pure lies. But we were compatible in so many ways because of where the moons were at these times. Yes.
I'm not sure I am.
Oh. Even my watch doesn't understand it, but that's...
What was your watch? I'm not sure this is a real thing.
It's a lie!
James, I think your ex-girlfriend was full of shit.
But I was like, oh, that's great. So I genuinely believed this. And obviously it wasn't true. At all. Even slightly. Well, we're about 10% compatible.
There's a girl that she does OnlyFans now.
Oh,
that I used
nice.
to work with in one of the bars in Australia.
Right.
And she just done like, so this bar was massive, like huge. There was maybe like 300 people that worked in it. It had like 4 different bars. So I had like a concierge bit at the start where you could go up and speak to them. They would show you the different because it's 2 different restaurants and that. So she used to do
Is that
that.
pure Belter place then?
Aye. And she used to do that. And one time she came in and she was like all over the place. She was sending everyone to the wrong place and all that. And then one of the other boys went up to her and was like, are you all right? And she was like, Mercury's in retro.
Let's see that.
And we were just like, oh yeah, that's why I'm fuck.
No, you're like, yeah. Yeah, have a nice day. Have a good day.
That's why I've not in my hole in 2 months.
Aye, any excuse for anything at this point.
But I find with that shit that when girls say it, I'm like, that just means that for me, that means you don't take responsibility
For
how
anything.
you feel.
That's exactly what it
You
is.
blame it on
Whatever, anything.
So you're feeling shit. Well,
It's the moon.
Maybe some things are going shit.
I know, maybe my life's like needing to get a wee bit better.
It came from like I seen a PT like went on this rampage for like a month about how she wasn't getting any engagement on any of her posts and like her business wasn't doing well and all that. And then after that, she done some deep healing work, and like then she went to some. Apparently, there's jobs in these things as well. Like as in, I think you can get like spiritual coaches.
Oh, you can?
Aye, and then she was like, went to my whatever they call them, whatever fucking weird word they've got for them. She like just told me it's just like, you know, the way the moons are aligned at this moment for the next 2 months.
You're fucked.
It might be quite rough. It's like, your business is going shit.
Get a grip.
That's your fault.
Yeah. Do you know, see all that? That is the scariest thing ever, that people believe that. I think some people might be listening going, no, I believe that. Well, that's up to them, but I think that's scary.
I think I've been harsh enough about all of those sort of things that I don't really get people like that.
Yeah. I'm pretty harsh with that sort of stuff.
Like the woo-woo crap.
Oh, it's crazy. But people genuinely believe like that affects your relationship, affects your mood, affects everything. Affects what job you get. Like, no, that's just you.
Taking no responsibility. Anyway, can we get back onto the topic?
Mate,
Because I put up like literal things about how I was going to help people.
Right. Let's help people then. Let's go.
So maybe let's go through why am I doing better? Because notoriously I would leave the country.
Yeah. So, Gavin, what's better in your life, eh? Tell us.
I think it's working from here.
Right, I do. I agree.
I think that's the main thing.
Yeah.
And I've started running again. I think I've finally been running long enough that I can. It's not a wee phase.
Aye, you're actually a
I was
runner.
like the first 3 or 4 runs, I was like, right, I'm gonna set some goals and post it all over Instagram. And I was like, no, calm yourself, because then you'll embarrass yourself.
Yeah, when you don't do it
anymore. But I've been running for like 3 months, and I just started doing 1 run a week for like 4 weeks, then 2, then 3, and now I'm up to like 30-40k a week.
Are you?
Yeah, doing like longer runs and stuff. So my plan is to get as fit as I can, or even because I'm getting stronger at the same time. I don't know how I'm doing it, but I'm getting stronger and fitter.
So I think this goes kind of into this. Like, there's studies showing that loneliness can decrease your strength more than nutrition and sleep and that. And obviously, this is a time of year where a lot of people get lonely. And you're obviously the opposite this time. You're in here working. You got a lot more connections back home. Do you know what I mean? You're probably the least lonely. You probably, even though you've got friends in Australia and that, you're actually like where you live this time. So your loneliness.
Well,
is
I
probably,
never got that lonely in Australia, but Australia is where I went because I couldn't handle here.
Yeah. You don't.
Because all my mates from, I've been speaking about this quite a lot, because people are like, why are you kind of happier back home this time? I'm like, even I was all right before I just left. See, when you first met me and stuff, but it was my go-to thing to leave.
You just like had to go.
So I didn't actually need to leave that much that time, but I just used to always do it.
So you just
and also it was the first time I could ever work and be away, and I was like, I need to make the most of, like, there's not many people that can go to Bali and work, even though, by the way, that sounds really
good.
I had to take out all my stocks in my Bitcoin, and I didn't make much money when I was away, and it was very stressful. So I went up to Bali, but it's the same as you going for 2 weeks on holiday and saving up to go, because I wasn't like just working on the beach for 2 hours. I was pretty stressed because I wasn't making any money, because people don't go, oh, there's an online coach in Bali, I'll hire him.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They see that as, oh, that's an influencer.
Aye.
So I was making way less money, but I don't have any desire to do any of those things. But that's what I was saying, because like people, everyone kind of hates, a lot of people will hate where they're from or love where they're from.
Yeah.
And I always hated where I was from, but not Glasgow. I hated my
Viewpark.
hometown. No, but I'm not from Viewpark. I'm from all of Lanarkshire basically, and I went to school in Hamilton.
Right.
So like I've got friends in Uddingston, and I don't know anyone in Viewpark, mate.
No.
I've got friends in Hamilton and Uddingston, really.
Right.
And then wherever they've moved to. Well, that's like my school.
Aye, school friends.
Aye. So they always never wanted to do anything or go to the same pubs, never wanted to go on a different holiday or anything, and I just felt really different from them. So every time I came back, like I used to get anxiety when I was in Melbourne, thinking about going back and try to talk to the people I used to talk to.
Mad.
Because I knew I would hate, and I was having nightmares. See, the last 6 months of my visa, I was having nightmares about waking up back in Glasgow and being like back in my old life, if you know what I mean. And also at that time I hadn't started PTing or anything, so I was like, the thought of me
Just from me nothing.
I had no I'd done a lot of cool stuff with the freestyle stuff. I knew a lot about social media back then as well. I knew quite a bit about marketing, and but I didn't have the confidence I could have wung myself into a good marketing job. Like I had more experience than people with marketing degrees. Like now, see if I had left now, I could show them the business I've built PTing, and I think I could land a pretty good marketing job. But I had no self-confidence or like no knowledge that I could actually do that. Like just meet people and you could probably get a good job. Like see when people say I can't get a job, I'm like, bollocks.
I know.
Absolute fucking bollocks.
I agree.
Every
job I've
unless it's in a like proper niche industry that you're
aye.
looking for, that's fine. But like any job,
You can get a job.
Any
job I've got recently, I've just walked up and asked.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to get. I don't think job applications, I think, are pointless.
Like I went
not pointless, but like
I went into Gym 24 and I was like, he's looking for a he's looking for a PT. I worked in JD, I said he's looking for a PT.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I think the best way is to get to know people. So I used to get fucking well anxious about that, but I've built a completely different life here now. All my, like, I didn't know your deal last year. A lot of my mates are like all the podcast has helped me loads. I met you through the podcast.
Aye.
I've been hanging about with Adam a bit, speaking to him now, who was on like 3 episodes ago.
He's a good guy.
So it's all people I've met through doing this.
I'm the same. I'm like the exact same. Like, I'm the same as you. See, last year, it was pretty, well, I don't count last year, right? The year before, right? Last year was bad for a different reason. But I was the same. Like, see, when you're looking at your work and you're like, I don't really like this. You're looking at your friend group and you're like, I don't really want to be doing the things they're doing. And you're like, this is shite, because like you're not really want to go as much. Your motivation is down at this time of year. Do you know what I mean? And if your motivation is down because obviously you're not getting as much vitamin D, you're not getting as much sunlight, you're not getting as much movement, and then your actual genuine life, like the life you live, like your friends, your communication circles, your job, if you're not really happy in it, you're going to feel it at this time of year. So I think it's a good thing to, if you're really feeling low at this time of year, it's because everything's probably a little bit amplified, and it's probably a good time to look at it and go, look, I'm actually not as happy as what I think. It's very easy to be happy in summer. You can take time off, you can go on holiday, you can go to the gym.
Going on holiday isn't like you being happy. That's like you getting away from
away from everything. And that's the thing. Like,
but I know that.
Aye, because you've done that.
I'm the fucking king of,
aye.
of that feeling of right, I'll just go away and that'll fix everything. Aye. So if you think I'm being condescending, no, I've wrote that book.
It'll fix something for a short amount of time because you come back refreshed. You be able to do whatever you're doing for a wee bit of time, and then you go, I need another holiday. And I think if you need a holiday, like that's always been my thought. So if you need a holiday, then you're probably doing something wrong somewhere.
I think I'm taking a lot more, like, I'm actually living more a Monday to Friday life now.
Mm-hmm.
Like my weekends, I'm very much like just doing stuff, not actually working. And I think that's made a massive difference. Remember that time we came in here, we tried to work on like a Sunday? And we may as well not.
No, been here?
Because my brain was absolutely fried. And I think I've got used to like... And it means that I don't dread anything.
So I said to Dale, I finish at 8 o'clock at night and I don't work a Sunday. I said, I don't give a fuck what all these fucking influencers say, like, you should be grafting all the time, working on your business, working on your life. No, you need a little bit of time off. Do you know what I mean? You need to have some time off to look forward to. Unless you can be... These are all things that I've been thinking about recently. Unless you're that driven by your insecurities, which will only last so long, you can't just work every day. Yeah.
Because if you've actually got some self-esteem and you're not using... Because those insecurities can actually propel you forward if you use them in the right way. But if you haven't, it's actually a good thing if you're not that insecure that you want to have some time to do what you want to do.
I agree.
It's a good thing.
Do you know, obviously, we go to the same therapist, right? So, does people know that?
Aye.
Right. So
I don't know why I look confused.
You look confused.
We'll actually tell a funny story. Last day I went back in for therapy, didn't I? And knocked on the door and you came out.
I was like, hello.
I was just like, he's fucked, isn't he? That cunt.
Don't fuck. Watch him.
Get rid of that cunt.
But the biggest thing for me in that was learning about my insecurities, I think. And then see when I've learned about them, I don't need to do that because I'm only doing that because I don't feel good about this. And I've
not actually. Give me an example.
So, like, my insecurity is definitely how much money I make. Right?
I've had that. I've only started fixing that this year.
Yeah.
I've only started viewing my relationship with money very similar to my relationship with food.
Mate, it's the exact same. Like, you need to have a plan in place, but you also need to take a break. Like, if you're I was so stressed because I was like, I need to make X, Y, and Z by this month. You don't, by the way. No. And then I looked at it and I went, what would I tell a client that came to me and say, I need to lose this amount of weight? I'd go, whoa. This is how I explain to a client. I go, look, your goal is not to lose 10 kilo. Your goal is to be consistent with your nutrition, training, and your habits and feeling good. I says, and see if you do that, you'll lose in time and you'll probably get 10 kilo at one point. When it is, your life's dependent because things will come up and it will change and you might pull in a little and you might come off track and you might need to look after somebody or whatever it is, something might happen. And if you've got that 10 kilo by X, Y, and Z date, then if you don't hit it, then you're going to feel really bad about yourself. And I was doing the exact same thing with money. I was like, I need to make 4K by this month.
That's from the whole business mentorship. Sort of like seeing other people talking about how much money they're making.
At one point, I look at it and I go, I'm a little bit embarrassed that is the driving force behind them. And then, like, it's it's like, oh, I make 5k a month and I've bought this motor and I've done this, I've done that. And I genuinely now go, I don't actually give a fuck about that, because I know how much happier I'm just doing my own thing. And I look at these people and I like, see, because I've actually looked at my own insecurities and went, fuck, I was really insecure about that. I can actually look at these people and go, fuck, they are not even happy making that amount of money.
I think business mentors and the bad PTs make the same, like, give their clients the same insecurities they have.
Oh, fuck, aye.
But it just looks good because they're making money and they're ripped.
Aye.
But they're not happy.
No.
So they're just teaching you how to make more money and not be happy, or teaching you how to starve yourself and not be happy.
Aye.
Whereas we're trying to make your life better.
Aye. I fucking agree. What's it like, when I had to look at it, I go, what's the difference? As long as I make enough money to pay my bills now, right? I can build a business structure that I'm happy with, that I can get clients in nice and controlled, and I can give them a good service that I'm happy with. And if you're actually playing the lot, like, so we tell clients, you're doing this for life, it's a long game. You're going to be eating well for life, you're going to be training, whether it's 2, 3, 4, 5 times a week, whatever it is, whatever it fits into your structure, you're going to be playing the long game. Well, you got to think the same in business. And it's like, if you're going too hard too soon, you're going to create this massive ego, because you've not actually built anything. You've only followed a structure that somebody's gave you. Like, if you give somebody a meal plan, and you give somebody a diet plan, and you give somebody a structure, and you built it, and you've went, look, I don't care what your life is, but do this and you'll get the result. They'll get the result, but they didn't achieve it, because they don't actually know what went into it. So by the time, it's the same in making 5k a month or whatever, by the time they hit that, they don't fully know, especially because you're a PT. You don't let them...
Can I just say as well, like, see 5k a month, people will think that's like loads and loads of money, right? But to see, as a business owner, you can't look at, like, if you were on 60, because 5k a month is 60 grand.
Aye.
That's a good wage for, like, if you're in a job.
Aye,
but you have to treat, like, businesses so different because the expenses are so much higher.
Yeah.
Also, no holiday pay, no anything like that. You need to have, if you have a month where you make less than what you earn, like, your business is fucked.
Yep.
Spend more than what you earn, or you have a low income. Like, what if you just can't work for 6 weeks, you break your leg or something like that? Do you know what I mean?
Anything can happen.
So, like, it's not the same,
Aye.
because you've got the safety net.
Yeah.
There's zero safety net, and also, like, it's PT seasonal as well.
Very.
Like, I actually don't really notice it compared to other people. When people tell me stuff like, oh, I make this because of this date, and I go, mate, the last 2 years, my worst months have been January, like, money wise.
Aye.
Even though that is the best month, but I don't mark it that way. And also, mentally, January's always been my worst month. I
think January's like, these are the easier months in January,
because
everybody's so flat in January.
Yeah, I'm flat in January. But last year, to be fair, I went and fixed all my business, and I did work like fuck, but I just didn't take it on anyone.
Yeah.
But, guy, like, Lane Norton said it best, he went like that, just outlast everyone.
Aye.
Because everyone I've only been doing it for 3.5 years, and I would say it more with, like, followings and stuff, but, like, I've seen many people rock it up and just die flat on their arse, because all they did was use a system to grow loads of followers.
Too hard, too fast.
And then they've not actually got good at the job and built a good business.
Aye.
So they just die flat on their arse.
Aye, they do.
So it's slow and gradual is definitely the best way.
But that's the same, like, so if MD's like listening, they're like, well, how does that contribute to my November, December, January years? Well, stick to everything slow
Years,
and
months.
months. But stick to everything you're doing slow and gradual. Do you know what I mean? Don't cut it off. Don't try and go harder. Just stick with it. So, like, see, I ain't gonna walk at night when it's dark. It's fucking amazing. But
I like walking in the dark.
I
don't
love
think
it.
It's that bad.
Like, I love it. See, people are saying, oh, it's dark on a game, so don't go a walk. I'm like, see, when you get a big nice jacket, if it's raining, get a wee hood, and then put your earphones in and just go out and enjoy it.
Yeah.
I think that's fucking great.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are like, nah, like, they like the sun, and I'm like, well, I don't know, I just fucking love going out when it's nice and quiet.
Even at the weekend, I've been making a big effort to go drive somewhere, get a coffee, and go on a nice walk.
Aye.
Like, it's not granted if it's absolutely pissing down, but mate, honestly, I'm going to buy a pair of wellies and still just
go.
It's because I genuinely seen quite a lot of videos that were like people walking in like forests and stuff in the piss and rain. They're like, why do you let the weather stop you from just getting out of the house?
Aye.
Because it's unless it's like snow and like the like.
Yeah, you're falling your ass. It's icy everywhere.
In Scotland, we're gonna have 10 days of the year where you can't do it,
Mm-hmm.
but there's still because like it'll be ice or whatever. Because one time we didn't get any post for a week because our postman broke his leg trying to get in our street, and he just went, "I'm not going back in there." So fair enough.
Cool.
And it was, I couldn't even really get out the street, but that's 10 days of the year. So let's.
Do you think that people struggle to be themselves, and because it's nice, it's dark, they'll struggle? Do you think that's one of the reasons why maybe people don't go a walk at that time of year?
Because they're themselves.
Aye.
Women, you mean?
No women. I understand that darkness. Women, like I get that, but that's obviously.
What do you mean then?
No, like
I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. I just stay away.
No. I wouldn't mean that anyway.
I'm not here to promote fucking the Me Too movement. Or whatever, do you know
neither am I. But like, do you think that at this time of year, people like, because it's hard. People go home from work usually, and they go on the couch and they don't do anything. That's the usual. Do you know what I mean? And then that restricts movement, so people are just instinctively moving less. So is it the dark nights, or is it the fact that they're moving less?
Aye, but people do. It's very hard. It's not even like, oh, people aren't aware of this. It's like very hard to be aware of that.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? Like you don't even know it's really happening.
Aye.
Until it's happened long enough that you feel shit, and then you you notice.
Aye.
It's like being proactive about these things. Like, so I think I'm subconsciously. That's why I've probably ramped up the running a bit. I'm not ramped up as in like I'm gonna
go crazy.
Aye. So like it's not really against your point. It's more like I just want to have something that keeps me active.
Mm-hmm.
And I've noticed that I'm actually feeling 10 times better doing like I've always done a bit of cardio, not loads, but never had a structure that's like I'd do it every week.
Mm-hmm.
And mate, this year my mood's not been low, but I have felt generally quite shit, just low energy, not mood. Never, just I can't work as long. I don't know if it's maybe because I fucking grafted so hard for like the first 18 months of doing this business that I just don't have it in me to do that anymore.
Yeah.
Or like, I do have I'm still doing work. I'm still here. I'm still putting in 40-hour weeks. I'm never like taking a week off for it, and my clients will be like talking shit. He's fucking talking to us all the time.
Aye.
But I don't have that. I can't concentrate for that long, and I've just started I started giving myself a wee check-in thing, and I've really been trying to figure out why the fuck I'm
struggling to concentrate.
I'm so tired.
See, my productivity is down.
But this happened all through summer as well.
I know, like I've been up and down all year, but I would say like right now my productivity is lower than usual, and
I hate all this shit that's like you just got to work hard and all that, because it gets to like 3 or 4 o'clock, and mate, I can't keep my eyes open quite a lot, and I've got this Garmin now, and it's tracking my sleep. There's not been one day where it's been less than 8 hours. I don't know if I get enough. I don't know how accurate it is.
Aye,
and
I always think about these things as well. I don't know how. Like, I remember one time I woke up with the worst sleep ever, and my Apple Watch, it said I'd slept right through for 7.5 hours, and I was like, no, I did not. There is no fucking way.
So I don't know how accurate it is, but it's when we try to sort my sleep. So in the last 3 or 4 weeks, I've only had 1 coffee a day, apart from one day where I went away for 2 days. I had 3.
Right.
But 1 coffee a day.
Aye.
I think that's making me feel better. I think the hardest thing with all of this is we're all searching for ways to make ourselves feel better.
Aye.
However, all the little things are so hard to actually know you're feeling better that you stop doing them.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? So
it's the movement, like getting up a wee bit earlier because it's nice and sunny, and going out at night because it's nice and sunny, and then you stop doing that, but you don't know you're not doing it.
Yeah.
Because you could just go home, you go, and it's dark, can I go out? It's no, I'm not moving. It's too dark to go out.
Yeah. So I think my energy's been a bit better the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But I don't know what, because I've done a few different things. I don't know what I think I'm going to the toilet less through the night because I've stopped drinking, because I have a really bad problem with that. So I've stopped drinking.
I got up once every night.
Mate, when I first started, I was like, I'm going to start tracking. First night I got up 6 times.
What?
I know.
That's no good.
Me and Dale talked. But it's at 2 now.
Right. Still 2?
Yeah. I can't do less than 2. That's my record.
Couldn't do you go straight back to sleep?
What?
Do you go straight back to sleep?
Sort of, yeah. I think I do.
Do you? That's alright.
But I can't not do it. So I've been trying to fix that. So caffeine's a bladder irritant, apparently.
Aye.
So try to cut that, even though I don't ever drink caffeine late, try to cut that down. Then I've been trying to drink less close to bed. Not that I wasn't guzzling gallons of water before bed or anything, but like really, like I cut myself off at like 7 o'clock now and stuff like that. But I think I feel better, but I don't know what it is. So that's why it's so hard with like movement and stuff. Also, like, see when people have like bad relationships with like social media, because I've everyone muted, I've been way better for the last year, I reckon, than everyone else.
Yeah.
But it's not enough for me to go like that made me feel way better. It's just little things.
I don't know, mate. I think social media plays a big part because
you don't really notice it. I am better.
Aye.
But I can't be like,
it was social media,
10%.
it was Instagram.
I can't be like, my mood is 10% better because of
this.
that.
Aye.
There's nothing that really does. Lifting is like, you get an instant feedback when you lift more weight and when you come out of the gym.
And you're like, I know that's that.
Aye. Walking, you don't really get an instant feedback.
No.
Running, you get an instant feedback.
Aye.
There's very little things that give you
instant gratification. Yeah.
Like having one coffee instead of 3 coffees, there's no instant feedback of that, and it's actually really hard because I want to have a second coffee every day. So it's hard to like. So I think you need to be very aware.
But that's also a big thing. Like coffee at this time of year, it's cold. We'll have an RB coffee. We'll heat ourselves up. A lot of people don't even I remember when I used to take pre-workout. Right, I actually didn't even know. Like I knew caffeine made me high, but I didn't know the side effects of caffeine back then. And a lot of people like. I've got clients that are like, I'm having a latte, and I'm like, but you didn't used to have a latte, so now you're having a couple of lattes a day, you're having all this extra milk, you're having all this extra caffeine, do you know what I mean, that you didn't used to have in summer, because people won't go out and they won't have a coffee during the day in the summer, all the time, but they'll have a coffee during the day, in the morning and night at winter, so their sleep's affected. And then if you're having this much coffee, it's really fucking hard.
See when people used to tell me they have coffees like after dinner,
Mate,
I want to grab them and just like,
are you stupid? Are you fucking stupid?
And then they go, I sleep right through, and I'm like,
yeah.
Stop being dumb.
Oh, it hurts my brain. You fell asleep, but you're not sleeping well.
Or like, I have 2 pints because it makes me sleep better.
Who the fuck says that about my mum? This is that.
My dad.
So I've
dumb. That's dumb.
See, that's another thing. Drink as well at this time of year. Big time.
Yeah.
Big time.
Well, I can't really relate to that now.
No, can you? But it's a coping mechanism for a lot of people. I'm not feeling great. It's a wee bit cold. I'm going to have a wee drink. When I get it, I'm going to have a wee glass of wine.
So what you're like? So what we're talking about is we haven't really gave any solutions, right? But we're talking about trying to keep up.
We're talking about there's good habits and there's no. I wouldn't say bad habits, but I would say habits that aren't fantastic for your health that you definitely up at this time of year, like drinking, watching telly, social media, and these things will stop you walking, eating better. Like the more caffeine you're consuming, you'll probably like be craving a little bit more like sugar in it.
Yeah,
because you're fucking having so much caffeine.
It's a snowball effect. Like if you sleep worse because of the caffeine.
Yep.
If you're not moving as much, you also sleep worse.
Yep.
And all of this is going to make your mood generally a bit less. Also, a bit less sunlight is going to make your mood a bit less. You need to put plans in place to let that not happen. And
you need to be self-aware that these things will make your mood less. So
I don't be like, oh, it's just the dark nights.
Aye.
Because it is that is what's making you change what you're doing.
Yeah.
But you can also be aware of that. And you don't have to, like you said, don't have to have this vigorous plan to overcome the darkness. But you need to do something.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, it will just get worse and worse.
Why do you think people stop training at this time of year as much? Because I love training at this time of year.
So because their motivation is for summer holidays.
Yeah. So that's a good thing. Change your mindset towards why you train. And
I'm quite big on things like, what do you mean by that? Because say change your mindset. Do you know what I mean? But that's an arbitrary term that doesn't really have any value to someone. So what do you mean? Like, but break something down. Like, say the way someone words something.
Yeah.
Because this is how I talk to clients, right?
Yeah.
So what would you get someone to see? Because saying change your mindset doesn't really do anything.
Well, we train pretty similar. Me, you and Dale, we do train pretty similarly to people. But everybody comes to me, I'll be like, look, we're not going to lose any weight. I'm going to get you strong. I'm going to get you good at lifting. Like, and I'm like, I'm going to help you with your nutrition. But see if the scales don't go down, like, we're no bothered yet. And instantaneously, because their mindset's not on the weight, then, and I'm like, your physique might change. It will change at one point, but we're getting really strong. And you see a lot of clients, like, just through that quick 8 to 12 weeks doing that, they feel so much better. And they go, right, fuck, doesn't matter what time of the year it is, they go, I feel amazing. And they're like, yeah, I do want to look better and I do want to lose weight, but I'm not as bothered and I'm not as fixated on that. And then you go, by the way, this is for life. Like, and you explain to them when they come to you, this is for life. And so if anything gets in the way, like, it's fine, because you're going to go back on you're going to get back on it. Yeah. And because it's for life. Life's going to get in the way, but you're going to get back on it. And if you can get into your training and all that straight away with that mindset, like, that you know it's for getting strong, it's for getting healthier, it's for feeling better, it's for feeling happier, it's for sleeping better, it's for just getting overall stronger, then you won't look at it for a summer holiday just as much. You obviously will want to look good in a summer holiday, that's alright, but that won't be your only goal, because you'll be like, I actually fucking love feeling like this. Do you know what I mean? But you need to feel like that first to know what that feels like.
Yeah. I had a client that she's like, I don't put myself first. And this is like stuff that, because it all goes hand in hand, right? And she was saying that she doesn't put herself first because she puts her kids first.
Yeah.
And I'm like, not being funny, right? But that done nothing for me in terms of like my parents or whatever. I learned horrendous habits because my parents didn't look after themselves.
Yeah.
So like the best gift, personally from my experience, the best gift if you got kids and stuff, I know this is often a wee tangent,
no,
but it matters. Like, the best gift you can give your kids is you looking after yourself.
Yeah. And
then them learning that lesson, not by you forcing them to do exercise. They watch because if you've got bad self-esteem and bad like habits,
that's what they
for your
take.
health,
they fucking know that.
They learn that.
Yeah, yeah.
So you, without meaning it, even though you might be there for them, you might
you're just trying your best to push them on.
You give them that stuff. So it's even like all of it matters in terms of like, I think making people aware that you're going to start thinking about your holiday and stuff in February if you don't start lifting just now. And see, by February, you won't care what you look like on holiday. It's very hard to get people aware of that. Mm-hmm. So like, if you don't do anything now, you're going to care so much about how you look in your June holiday come February, March, and you're going to freak out. If you continue to lift all through winter,
yep,
it won't even be about you'll be ready for your holiday. Fuck all that chat. It's just you won't care.
You don't,
because you'll just feel good.
Yeah,
it's nothing to do with like, oh, start getting your summer body ready now. Fuck all that noise.
Aye,
you don't need a summer body.
No,
summer bodies are a load of wank. Just get stronger every month. If you have a month where you have like too much on, maintain that month.
That's it.
And just for life, just try to get stronger.
Yeah.
Fuck all the like, oh, Christmas is time to put on weight and like bulk, but you actually eat too much and get fat, and then you're trying to lose weight for your holiday. Fuck your holiday. Just get stronger through Christmas, because you'll feel better for Christmas.
Aye.
And you won't stop moving.
I've said this with me and Dale, right? Like, and this is an amazing way to put it. Like, obviously I'm into powerlifting, right? And I was thinking about all the numbers, but it's a great thing to say to clients, right? And I was going through the comments, and a guy was like, so everybody's trying to be the best version of themselves, be the best. Like, no matter where they're at, they're like, I could be like fucking amazing, but they're trying too hard. Like, everybody's trying too hard. If they get to February, they try too hard for February, right? And he was like, look, this was just the powerlifting, but I was like, this is actually a fucking great analogy. He was like, none of you are going to be the strongest in this comment section. And the first comment was, some of us want to be the best. And his comment was, look, see, instead of that, see the people who are the best, they're the best when they're born. Like everybody can see that you're going to be this and you're going to be that. You're going to be in amazing shape. You're going to be this. You're going to be that. And he says, just do it because you enjoy it, right? And then you're going to do it consistently. And I was like, fuck. And see, when I started training that way, and I was like, I'm not really wanting. I don't care about the number I hit. I do care about getting better, right? And he says, just enjoy the process, whatever you're doing, and you'll get to a good place. But you'll understand that things will get in the way, and then you won't care about the number at the end of the day. So you won't care about your physique on holiday just the same way, because you've been enjoying the process the full time, no matter whether it's winter or summer.
I'm gonna start I've got like 3 running goals that I want to do. It might take me 3 or 4 months, but then I'm gonna start getting stronger again, and naturally my weight will be down and stuff. But see, when I get stronger this time, I'm actually going to go to the gym, and like I might go in trackies and like baggy clothes and just try to get stronger, and so it's zero to do with like how I look.
Aye.
Because I've heard a few people talk about that. Have you ever heard there's a like poem about, or not poem, it's like a story about £200 is always £200.
Right, no.
Have you ever heard about this?
No.
I won't read it out because basically How to Be a Personal Trainer podcast with Jordan Syatt and Mike Mckinty, they read it out.
Right.
And what they've spoke about with stuff like this, I really agree with, and I really like the idea. But it's basically a story, and bear in mind I heard this like 2 years ago. So it was a story about a like janitor or PE teacher that was fucking well strong, and then there was like a 16-year-old who was skinny and insecure or whatever. And by the way, this goes the same way, being overweight.
Aye, the other way.
Like people who are really, really skinny have the same insecurities. They just always think the other one is worse than the other.
I tell both clients this.
You're from the skinny side, I'm from the overweight side. We have the same.
You're always
problems.
struggling.
It's just back to front.
Yeah.
So because it's still body image issues. They're just different, but they're just one's just as bad as the other.
Still struggling.
And he got him into lifting. I can't remember all of it, but he basically told him that he wasn't allowed to look at himself in the mirror. He was just like, you're just doing, like, and he was training him every time, but he was like, no taking pictures of yourself and no looking in the mirror. And this is why I'm going to move away from, I've started getting clients to take first progress pictures, right? But I'll never do it again unless they start telling me they've not made any progress and I know they have. That's the only way I'm going to use them. I'm never going to use them for marketing. But I used to just follow a model they sent me every 4 weeks purely because that was what
that's how
the full industry does it. That's the only reason I done it. And people wouldn't send me them, and I wouldn't ask them to send me them. Do you know what I mean?
I don't ask for that.
Aye. So I'm gonna start doing it like that, because I think the more you get away from it being about physical appearance, the better.
Yeah.
And it being about just the gym. And that's what I've learned from why I changed it all my coaching to learn to lift.
Aye.
That's why I got away from, because I had Shane on last week, and just everything he talks about was clients. I had those type of clients, and he's good at it, and he can probably help them way more than me.
What kind of clients?
They'll be mostly like slimming club
Right,
background,
right.
which, by the way, probably like 30-40% of the people that listen to this will be from that background.
Yeah, they've
But
done that.
when I first started, it would have been 90%. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I can help those people quite a lot, but more people know that they're lifting when they come on with me now.
Yeah.
Like they're like, I know this guy's just gonna tell me to lift.
Yeah.
Whereas before I had to convince them that lifting was the best option.
Aye.
And it is. Lifting,
Mate,
lifting fixed. Lifting is the main thing that fixed my relationship with pretty much everything. My relationship with the scale, food, and my body.
Aye.
Even if like my body didn't change ridiculous amounts straight away, fixing your relationship with your body isn't changing your body. It's like completely changing your perspective on what it's
lifestyle,
all about.
mate.
Yeah, but lifting was the pillar for me, changing my lifestyle, and I think lifting through winter is the main thing. So, but this might just be people all know this. They're like, my problem is I can't get to the gym. Well, it's just like, you've got the time still, instead of what, like,
for MD who's thinking that, like, you need to see if you're thinking that, you need to sit on a Sunday and go, when can I go?
Yeah.
Like, you need to look at your schedule and go,
even if it's one session less a week,
aye,
you still
need to, but you need to.
Because people stop.
Aye.
People will literally stop,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what will fuck you.
I think the best thing at this time of year is no looking at yourself though. And just like, so I took a picture the other day, and I hadn't took a picture in a wee while. And I was like, I don't really, like, I kind of wear, I know this isn't oversized, but I don't really wear too much tight stuff. And when I'm in JD, I squat at the rigs and all that, so I'm never looking in the mirror. And I don't really go into the mirrors when I'm training. And it's because I was training in here, and like, it changes your perspective on everything. Because I would say I'm in good shape, but that's not the purpose of why I do anything. Like, I've hurt my knee now, and I am gutted. Like, deep down, I was driving home the other night, and I was like, it's nothing to do with my physique. It's like, I just love how lifting makes me feel. Like, there's nothing fucking better. But the good thing about hurting my knee is I can actually explain to everybody, look, see how you move, see how you lift. That's going to change your life. Know how you look. Because it's like when you're picking a partner, like, when you're younger, you're like, oh, they're banging. But no, I don't know, but I look at something and go, yeah, they're good looking, but what other qualities have they got? What goals do they have? And I never used to do that. And it's the same when you think about yourself. You go, right, there's so much more to me than abs and all that. It's like, are my values good? How am I doing at my job? Am I working hard? Am I sleeping well? Am I feeling good? Am I good to the people around about me? Like, they are so much bigger than how your body looks in the mirror.
I think it's the first thing that got me to be self-aware at all is lifting.
Yeah.
Because I was like, right, I'm not this broken human.
Mm-hmm. That's
made me feel better.
Yeah.
So obviously there's other stuff that I can do to make me feel better, and it started the journey making me feel better.
Mm-hmm.
But I genuinely think it's like, it should be taught in schools, lifting.
That's how Americans are all like you see American Instagrams and that, and you're like, they're all, for a younger age, lifting is a big component in schools.
So that's why they're all fat.
That's just because they're
that's why they have the worst.
Food quality is absolutely wild.
Yeah, but I think, that's the main. I didn't think that's where we would go with that, but I had zero plan. So,
but I think, like, genuinely, mate, lifting at this time of year is fucking vital.
It's class though. Like, I actually really like it. Like, the gyms aren't too warm. They're dead. They're less busy.
Aye.
Right now is the best time to lift. And also, by the way, see when you overeat at Christmas and all that. See when you do fuck all from the 26th to the 31st. See with all those extra calories.
You're stronger.
Do you know how much more you can lift?
Fucking hell, you're stronger.
Go after you have that Christmas dinner, unless you get absolutely mangled. Just don't get mangled, actually. But see, once you have that Christmas dinner, go to the gym the next day.
Mate, you're a fucking unit.
You are a machine.
Love it.
That's also the best way to frame when you overeat, by the way.
Aye, I'm going to be stronger.
Obviously, if you take that in a bulk and then just eat that, but if you're like trying to stay in maintenance, or you're trying to lose a little bit of weight,
and then you do it over,
just go, here, my gym session tomorrow is going to be better than the other ones I've done. That's the best way to frame it, because it's also true.
I agree.
Right, well, we end it here.
Yeah, good one.